Hello everybody, and welcome to another exciting episode of the Gravitalk. And no wait, I am Graviton. I'm sorry. Gravitalk, not Graviton. That's my name. I mean the name of this here program where I am going to talk to you, the viewers, about another exciting episode. No, wait, I'm not talking about the episode. This is the episode. God damn it, I keep fucking up. I mean to say, where we talk about another big old blockbuster to be hastily splattered across the silver screen. But in this case, it's not one that was hastily splattered. No, because this one was originally going to be released in 2014, which has just ended. So yeah, they missed that mark by a lot. They were going to be released in summer of 2014, and the film, by the way, in case you're like, what the hell is he talking about? I am. Don't worry, I'm going to get to it. Patience. I'm talking, of course, about Jupiter Ascending. Yes, Jupiter Ascending. It was originally going to come out in summer of 2014, but didn't, because I guess they wanted to convert it into CGI or something, or improve the CGI. But you know, I mean, I saw the movie and I didn't comment on, I didn't notice how bad the CGI was. I thought it was pretty good. So yeah, I guess the wait was worth it, for the CGI anyway, not for, I'll get to that in a minute. But anyway, yes, this movie has been in development hell for a very long time because of this huge ass delay. And I remember my very first episode. My good old colleague of mine commented on it, and he is back here with me today. Hello, Mandarin, or should I say just Trevor, and not the Mandarin, so people can shut the fuck up about that. Oh, hello there, Graviton. Oh, it's great to be back, and I'm really glad that you brought me back, because I remember seeing that trailer. I don't remember the Hobbit picture that we saw or the other Hobbit, but I do remember that trailer, and thinking, I can't wait till I see that movie. And now here we are, 3 4/3 of a year later. It's a lot shorter than that. Oh, well, it has been a long time anyway. Yes, it has, Trevor. Yes, it has. But now we can finally review it. Although, Trevor, I must let you know, here's the thing, Trevor. There's another villain, another fellow villain colleague of mine, who I've chosen to do all of these space travel movies with. Whenever I review a space travel movie, I would review it with that guy. Really? Well, does that mean I don't have to be here? Well, I asked him if he could show up, and he said he'd be running late, so I'm not sure yet. Okay, so am I allowed to stay and talk about the movie? Yes, you are, Trevor. So let's talk about Jupiter Ascending. What were your initial thoughts about this? Well, I thought it was somehow it was in this paradox where it was really good and really boring and bland at the same time. You know, it was really exciting at times and entertaining, but at the same time, it wasn't. Yes, I understand what you're saying. It was like a collage, a mix, this weird mix of good and bad at the same time. It was interesting. Let's get into it by cutting to the chase and just going ahead and breaking the film apart bit by little bit. Can you do that for me, Trevor? Can you do that? Oh, I'll try. Okay then. So, we start the movie um, with constant reminding that this is from the Wiskowski siblings. Wait a minute, I thought they were brothers. Well, Trevor, I'm glad you brought that up. You see, actually, I'm not glad because this is going to be awkward me explaining to you what the hell happened. They used to be Wiskowski brothers, but now they're Wiskowski siblings. And can you imagine why? Did one of them lose a penis and gain a vagina? Yep, that's exactly what happened. So now instead of the Wiskowski brothers, they're Wiskowski brother and brother sister. Um, sorry, I should show respect, sister, since that's what she wants to call him herself. Um, Wow, that was really horrible. I mean, me being really horrible, not him for wanting to be a different gender. So yes, I respect him with all of my might, and I hope she is very happy with him herself. Um, so anyway, back to the movie. So after we are reminded that this is made by the guys who successfully did the first for the very first Matrix film and did a good job on that, and then constantly fucked up after that. One fuck up after another. Ugh, the Matrix sequels. Ugh, Speed Racer. Ugh, the Cloud Atlas. Holy shit. And the question is this film one of those shitty McShit shits? Well, let's find out. So, so after that, we begin the movie with Mila Kunis explaining to us, the viewers, about her origin, about how she's technically an alien, but legally she's an alien. And at first we think it's because she was not technically born in a country, because her parents, who are Russian, which I think is like an inside reference to the fact that Mila Kunis is Russian, actually, even though she doesn't sound it. And so anyway, her Russian parents meet each other when her father, Edwin Jarvis, a human Edwin Jarvis, not robot voiced by Paul Bettany, Edwin Jarvis. I mean human Edwin Jarvis from Agent Carter. Um, so anyway, he's apparently an astronomer or something, and he has this fancy ass kaleidoscope. I thought it was something else. Oh, that's right, a stethoscope. No, wait, that's what you use to look at germs. Which one am I freaking talking about? God damn it. The kaleidoscope, stethoscope, a different scope. Come on, Gravitalk, think. What other scope is there? Okay, kaleidoscope, stethoscope, stethoscope, astronomoscope. Oh wait, whatever it is, and it's some kind of thing that you look through, that you see planets with, whether it's a kaleidoscope or a stethoscope. It's definitely not just periscope. God damn it! Anyway, so yeah, I guess he's an astronomer or something, and he's looking through that periscope, a periscope, kaleidoscope. So so yes, they get together and they marry, and or something, I don't know, and he knocks her up, and she's pregnant, and Edwin Jarvis is like, oh hello little Mila Kunis, I'm going to name you Jupiter, and the mother is like, oh please, I am definitely calling her not calling her Jupiter. That is stupid. Who the hell would name their kid Jupiter? and it turns out she does, but it's out of grief because all of a sudden, their home is invaded by a bunch of random people who are there just as a plot device, and they steal all of Edwin Jarvis's stuff. And Edwin Jarvis is like, Why are you doing this?" And they're like, "Because the plot needs a reason for you to die. We're gonna shoot you now. Bang, you're dead." And so Edwin Jarvis dies. But don't worry, in another dimension, he's helping out Peggy Carter clear Howard Stark's name. I don't understand that at all. Well, you should. That's from the continuity both you and I are from. Oh, sorry. I'm still on a lot of drugs. Understood. So anyway, so yes, the Russian lady, now a widow, names her daughter, Jupiter, out of respect for her dead father who died for a really stupid reason, and so, and apparently, because he died, she is now poor, so she and her sister or cousin or whatever, have to leave to the U.S. and they're in the middle of a boat, and that's when she gives birth to Mila Kunis, Jupiter Kunis, and so technically she's not from the citizen of any country, and so without any transition or any setup to let us know that this is a sci-fi epic, we're all of a sudden just thrusted into the sci-fi world as we cut from that to to an intergalactic to another planet. And I'm like, wait a minute! You didn't give us time to establish the Earth, and you're already cutting to another universe, to another planet, and are just wanting us to accept it right off the bat. Well, I did. Well, yes, Trevor, I know you did because you're on drugs and whatnot. But what about all of us sober folks? Oh, good point. Yes. So apparently, this planet has been completely emptied by this group of snooty aristocratic evil overlords, snooty rich folks, and there's three of them. You two brothers and one sister, and they're like, "Oh, we're so rich and snooty. Oh, look at us, we're like aristocrats." And we don't find out until later what the hell they did with that planet. But apparently, what they do is these rich folks, who are like royalty, like they are rulers of the galaxy, not guardians of the galaxy, rulers of the galaxy, even though they don't call themselves that. Apparently, they own all of the planets, and they do the planets with what they wish. And what they did with that planet is they emptied it, and they're using the dwellers of that planet for mysterious reasons. And so they're like, okay, what's next on the list? I know. Let's do that little planet called Earth. Yes, Earth is next on the list of planets to empty out, so we can use the citizens of that planet for our own dastardly rich snooty purposes. And one of them is clearly the villain of the movie, and he's this villain guy who's always squinty, and his voice is really stupid sounding, even more stupider sounding than ours. Really? How does it sound? Well, it sounds like this. I I am I am the villain of this movie. My name is Bellum Abarasax. And I am here to be the villain of your movie. And sometimes I really sound quiet, and other times I sound really screaming. And that's how he is in the movie. So anyway, so yeah, that's our villain. I guess he has Tourette's or something. So anyway, back to Earth all of a sudden. Mila Kunis is now all grown up, no longer a baby, and they establish what her job is. and apparently she is a housekeeper. She has to go to all of these houses and clean all these rich people's houses, and then go to bed, and she has to do that with her aunt and her mother, and she has to be like, oh, I hate my life, and that's supposed to have us laugh, even though that is not really that funny with that delivery, and then at the end she's like, oh, I hate my life again, so that if you didn't laugh before, you should at least laugh now. And I'm like, nope, still not funny. So anyway, yes. Apparently, she and her family lives in some kind of house, I guess, with a landlord, and the landlord is like, "Look, Jupiter Kunis, you can't spend all of your money on stupid stuff, even though it's scientific stuff, even though it's a it's a something a scope that I can't freaking name. Um, okay, you have a really shitty job, and I am your boss, I guess. I am both your landlord and your maid boss, and no, you're not going to get a freaking raise. So shut the hell up. You should be glad at least we have a whole bunch of big ass food for you. And oh, by the way, I am Russian, even though I look Italian. Okay, off you go. And so Mila Kunis is like, oh, my life sucks. And she is, by the way, I guess this is all her family, because one guy, who I guess is her cousin, is like, hey, if you sell your eggs, you're gonna have a shitload of money, and you should split that money with me. I get 60%, and you get 20%, and then the other extra percent will also go to me. So Mila Kunis is like, well, I really do want that periscope, or whatever the hell it's called, because I can't freaking get the name. Um. Anyway, the eyeglass. uh, so anyway, Mila Kunis is going to sell her eggs, and she's there, and before she does this, however, she's deciding, while she's, attending to one of her customers, helping her customer pick out a dress. And I'm like, okay, this subplot with this woman that she's helping out doesn't need to be here, but I'll accept it. I'm fine with it, because this lady that she's helping is only wearing her underwear, and I'm like, okay, I'm perfectly fine with that being here. Okie doke, 100% approval for me. Isn't that right? Isn't that right, Trevor? I guess so. Trevor, how come you don't sound too happy about this? I mean, I thought you'd be happy about seeing a woman in little panties in this movie. You're right. I don't know, Gravitalk. I feel kind of different. Like there's something inside of me. He's here. Who are you talking about? You'll see, Mandarin. You'll see soon enough. So anyway, um, so anyway, so this lady in the underwear, thanks again, by the way, is knocked out unconscious by a bunch of aliens, and these aliens look like the kind that you expect aliens to look like. Big heads, anorexic bodies, big old eyes. What you usually expect aliens to look like. Like Paul or Roger. So anyway, Mila Kunis takes a picture of it, and then the aliens go away, and later, when Mila Kunis decides to donate her eggs finally to some clinic, she looks at her phone and sees that picture, and she's like, "Wait, what the hell is this?" And then when she is put into and then when the procedure is about to happen, all of the doctors are like, "Oh, by the way, we're aliens," and they transform. But the thing about that though is they don't give us. This is the same problem as before. They don't give us much time to accept the fact that, oh my god, they're aliens. They're like, okay, don't worry, we're about to do this seizure, and we're aliens about to cut you open. And so all of a sudden, out of nowhere comes the hero of the movie, which I know is Mila Kunis, but the other hero, Channing Tatum. Isn't that going to be all Gambit? Yep, our future Gambit, everybody. So Channing Tatum beats up the aliens' asses and takes Mila Kunis's floating body away from the premise. And this is the part that interested you, right, Mandarin? Well, it did when I first saw, Mila Kunis in a hospital gown or floating, but for some reason I don't feel as aroused about it now. Or there's something wrong with me, Graviton. Yeah, don't worry. The answers will come soon enough, Trevor. So anyway, so she wakes up, with her clothes changed. Oh, Channing Tatum, you sly pervert, um, asshole. So anyway, Channing Tatum explains to her that she is royalty, and that the only way he'll believe him is if they go to another alien. So they get on their car and they go to this old abandoned house, with a lot of with Sean Bean, and Sean Bean is also from another planet. And it turns out the reason why she didn't remember taking that picture is because I guess the Earthlings, I don't know, have been like conditioned to not realize intergalactic stuff when it happens. They're like conditioned to forget about it, and that's why the only and that's and sometimes if it doesn't work on certain people, they're considered crazy people. So yeah, it's kind of a little bit like Matrix. Good God, Wiskowski siblings. Well, why can't you be more original? Maybe they're just honoring their previous work. Yeah, that's true. They could be just that, referencing previous work and whatnot. So anyway, they go visit Sean Bean, and Sean Bean is like, look, I have no interest for this. Can't you see I have a daughter who you would never see in the rest of the film? And can't you see that I have a hobby of collecting honeycombs for some reason? I have a lot of beehives in my house and outside of my house. I guess I'm a beekeeper or something. So anyway, so Sean Bean gives all of the exposition. Okay, you want some exposition? I'll give you exposition. Okay, okay. So look, there's no aliens technically. Okay, everything you see in this movie, Mila Kunis, everything you see are all from the same race. Okay, it's just that some parts. You see what happened, Mila Kunis, is we are all the same species. It's just that your royalty, by the way, and your clan decided to split all of this civilization up into different planets, and one of them happened to be Earth, and we decided each section of these different civilizations will be different, because not because you're aliens, but because you were injected with different combinations of other beings. So that's why Channing Tatum is part. That's why Channing Tatum is part dog, and why you'll see another animal, another person later that's part deer and a part elephant, and there's also a part rat guy who works for that guy who talks like this. He talks like this. He talks very like this. He talks like this very. Good. I can't believe he was able to do that for a whole movie. Ugh, that really fucked up my throat. So anyway, So yes, Sean Bean gives her everything she needs to know. Um, that's how all of this works, and and so Earth, people didn't start on Earth. They were just sent there by these snooty rich people, and she's a part of royalty. And apparently, the way royalty works is not by bloodline, but is by your DNA. So, good God. So anyway, after he gives all of this valuable exposition, it's time for her to get abducted. So so she is chased by these bounty hunters, by these badass bounty hunters who we saw earlier tried to chase her and Channing Tatum, and it's this black bounty hunter, and it's this bounty hunter that has a robot eye, and he looks like cyborg Deadshot, and also this Asian girl who has the same exact hairstyle as that Wiskowski, who used to be a man but now is a she-man. Anyway, so they capture her. The Deadshot guy is killed by the black guy, and we never see these two characters again. We just see Mila Kunis being abducted and taken by them. I guess is that how it works? I don't freaking know. But anyway, but luckily, Channing Tatum is able to stow away into their ship, and they are teleported to the wait a minute, is the freaking planet? I don't freaking remember anymore. I don't know. This movie had a whole bunch of bullshit in it. But anyway, so Channing Tatum and Mila Kunis are teleported to. Sorry, I have to stretch out. Oh god, this movie, it really stresses me out by how confusing and weird it is. Breathe, breathe. So anyway, Mila Kunis is taken to that one of the snooty rich people we saw earlier. In this case, it's the lady who looks like an old lady. She's like middle age. She looks like she's in her late 50s or something. And so she is taken to her, and this late 50s lady is like, "Hey, you are a reincarnation of my mommy." Yes, Mila Kunis is a reincarnation, and it's not through the soul. No, it's through the DNA. Because apparently the laws of this movie is that the way it works is that people's soul are in their DNA, and so she shares the DNA of that old lady's mother, and then she says. You see, people in our royalty are able to live for thousands upon thousands of years, and the way we do it is we take a bath in this glowing pool of water, of blue water. Allow me to demonstrate. Let me just strip off naked and then dip in it, and then have my henchmen zap the water. And now that I'm out, I'm still naked, but now I'm young again. Yes, and thank you, Sequence, for letting me see a woman's butt. A very fine butt. Wouldn't you agree, Trevor? I do not like that butt. Oh my god, here he is, everybody. It's the Dark Overlord of the universe. I can't believe you had me back here. How come you don't have my usual host? Well, I decided to change things up a bit and invite Trevor because he wanted to watch this movie, but I also wanted you here to be too. I wanted you to be here too. So I decided, why don't I have a clever way of you guys both being here by having Trevor be your body host instead of the usual Walter Jennings. I can't believe you did that. Now I have to be in this gross body. Oh, come on. It isn't that bad, I'm sure. It is. Ugh, it's disgusting. I can feel all of the drugs he did. Ah, I'm freaking out. So what did you think about the movie? I hated it. Ah, keep going so you can get to the part that I despise. You get it, Dark Overlord. So anyway, so, Channing Tatum, who has been put into a cage by that dear lady I mentioned, is set free, and he tries to kill the naked lady who we saw the butt of, which I very appreciate, by the way. Thank you for making this movie just a little bit more bearable than earlier. But apparently he's on her side. I don't know what the freak is going on. But anyway, so now that it's been confirmed that Mila Kunis is royalty, she has to register now, register to get her royalty. So she is assigned a robot guy who looks like Conan O'Brien, Cyborg O'Brien, and O'Brien is like, okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm like C3PO. I'm going to I'm going to have to go through this whole tax process of getting your queen license. So they have this whole montage of him looking for the license, approval for the license, and everybody disapproves and is like doesn't give him approval, and you see all these weird characters and whatnot. And I'm like, well, I kind of like this story more than the story we actually have. Why can't this cyborg guy who looks like O'Brien be our main character? Damn it! So anyway, and you know what? This guy even has a story arc. He's trying to find someone to approve of the license, and he gets a lot of no's, and he's like, oh, and he's stressing out. But then after a moment of desperation, giving a lot of money, he finally gets that approval from some weird giant ear guy, and now that his story arc is over, we never see him again. Oh, come on! I like that guy more than most of the characters in this movie. So anyway, Mila Kunis finally gets her approval to have a royalty license, and she gets it stamped onto her wrist, and it's like a weird holographic moving tattoo thing, and that officially, and I guess that's her queen license. So now it's official. I guess that's different. I guess that's something unique, is showing all of the the paperwork, I guess, that goes into becoming a queen. Like, if you find out you're a queen, you can't just become a queen. You have to get a license or something, and like a legal approval and stuff, and stuff. So thank you, Robot O'Brien. Hopefully you'll get your own spin-off movie. Come on, Wiskowski brothers. I mean, sister and one brother. Get on it. So now we get back to the villain, and he's like doing his villain thing, and he's got a henchman. He's got this rat-faced henchman, and he's also got a bunch of dragon men, a bunch of dragon guys, and they look awesome. That's probably what they meant by improving the CGI, so we can have some really cool dragon-looking guys who go to Earth to abduct all of Mila Kunis's Russian family, because because apparently Mila Kunis's douchebag cousin was like, I'm going to spend all this money I didn't get yet, even though Mila Kunis said she would. Even though Mila Kunis didn't give me confirmation that she sold the eggs, I bought money anyway, and now I have a TV, and now I'm getting interrogated by that Russian guy. But now the dragon men are back, and they're like, or have arrived, and they're like, we're gonna adopt all of you, and they're like, oh god, we're freaking out. So anyway, so now Mila Kunis has teamed up with Channing Tatum, who is a dog, and they have like a romantic scene where Mila Kunis is like, you know, I think I'm falling for you. Do you like me? And Channing Tatum is like, I'm part dog. And Mila Kunis is like, I totally fuck a dog. And Channing Tatum is like, okay, this is weird. I'm out. and then Mila Kunis like, but I would said I would fuck a dog. You're very sad. Wouldn't you agree, Dark Overlord? Stop talking about bestiality and get on with it. So yes, so they reunite with Sean Bean. Completely forgot about his daughter, and they join forces with this black military lady who like is a part of this. I don't know, the Starfleet or something. It looks like the Starfleet from Star Freaking Trek, complete with an elephant face man. Not that he was from the original Star Trek. He just looks like he would be a part of that. So also, how come this elephant face man looks more like an elephant than Channing Tatum looks like a dog? Is there like levels of how much you look like the animal you were injected DNA with? Anyway, so Mila Kunis is now taken to another one of the snooty rich guys, who apparently she is the mother of. This time it's a younger guy. What the hell is his name? Titus. So Titus Titties is so Titties explains to her that the blue goo that they use to keep young, to keep their youth, is actually people. Soylent Green is people. That's a cliched reference. Yes, I know, but I couldn't resist. So yes, apparently what they do is they take humans who, I guess, make up the entire galaxy. There's no such thing as aliens, just different humans spliced with different animals, so these snooty rich people harvest humans, and that means that all of these planets are farm planets. That's where they farm humans so they can grow, and then they empty the planets out and take the humans, strip them naked, and then take them apart and use all of their fleshy bits and turn it into the goo so they can bathe themselves in it and stay young forever. Yes. Oh God, that's fucked up. Soylent Green is people. I already said that. So yes, but the reason why Titus has spilled the beans to Mila Kunis about this is because he's like, yeah, you can trust me. I'll put an end to it. Only if you marry me. Will you marry me? And Mila Kunis is like, only if you promise to stop. Let's do this. So this means that Channing Tatum and Sean Bean have to team up to stop the wedding in the style of The Graduate. So Channing Tatum is on a ship, and he's trying to get to this ship with where the wedding is happening, and it's basically exactly like The Graduate. He has to interrupt the wedding and stop the wedding and stop Mila Kunis from marrying Titus. You're seducing me, Mr. Dragon Man. So he crashes into the ship because he's like, oh, I have no time. We got to get the end of this movie is getting really closer. I have no time to get out of the ship. I'm just gonna crash right into the party. So he gets out of his ship and he's like, no, Mila, no, Mila Jupiter Kunis, and Mila Kunis like, the wedding is off. So they go on a bus, and then you hear and then you hear a Simon and Garfunkel song, The End. Nope, still more movie. That's why that felt very anticlimactic, because that isn't the climax. So yes, Mila Kunis leaves, and she doesn't get married, so she doesn't have to have the wedding ring, which is a burning tattoo, apparently. And so she and dogging Tatum go away with their Starfleet buddies until I don't know what the hell happens next. I think I think what happens is that what the hell? Oh yes! Oh my gosh, yes! Sean Bean turns out to be a traitor and hands Mila Kunis over to that whispering villain guy, Berlim, and Berlim is like, "Hello, Mila Kunis. Hello, Mila Kunis. I have your family. See, there is your family. See, I had the courtesy of not making them naked. You will do as I say. You will hand over all of your control over the earths to me because you now have full power. Aren't you glad I stopped my brother from marrying you because you are a reincarnation of his mother, so that would technically mean incest. That would have been really fucked up. But I, on the other hand, would not try to get your power by marrying you and then killing you. No, I would just force it out of you because I have your family. So will you do as I say, or I will get really mad? Because this guy is, because that's how this guy is. I guess he has Tourette's or something. Isn't that right, Dark Overlord? I hate this villain. He is really bipolar. Yeah, but that's what makes him funny. I bet he was like, how would I, this role seems a lot like Loki. How am I going to make this different? I know, most of my dialogue I will say only in whispers, except when I'm mad. And then I'll yell it out to keep the audience members on their toes. So anyway, so Mila Kunis is about to is right about to hand over all of her authority over the Earths because she's the reincarnation of the original owner of all the worlds. I guess I don't know. But deja vu because Sean Bean is good now again. I guess and this base, by the way, that this whispering villain is in, it has his base at, is apparently in the eye of Jupiter. Oh, I get it, to be ironic because the Mila Kunis is named after the Jupiter. Oh, funny, I guess. Is that even possible, though? Is it even possible to have a whole base in Jupiter? Like, wouldn't they get their asses destroyed by that horrible storm? I guess not, because Channing Tatum goes into there and he does the same exact thing he did before, going in and to rescue Mila Kunis and crashing his ship into that base again and being like, yeah, this movie is even more closer to the climax. I have to do what I did before and just crash the ship into this base like I did earlier. So Channing dogging Tatum is has crashed into it, and this gives Mila Kunis inspiration to beat the shit out of the whispering guy, and then they have an epic fight. But then Channing Tatum's crash has caused the whole base to explode and is breaking apart, and is breaking down, and so Channing Tatum Channing and Mila each have their own epic battle to fight. Channing Tatum has to fight the head warrior of the dragon people, and I think that rat-faced guy is dead, but Mila Kunis has to fight the whispering dude, and they have an epic fight, and Channing Tatum uses this weapon he uses where he uses things to phase through things, like phase through windows and doors and shit, and he makes the Dragon Man phase through a floor, but then stops the phasing machine right when his head is at the floor, so thus cracking the Dragon Man's neck. And I'm like, no! That Dragon Man looks so cool! I wish I had an action figure of him. Oh, all of these cool side characters are so much cooler than the ones we have to deal with. Why couldn't the Dragon Man and the cyborg Conan O'Brien looking guy, why weren't they the stars of this movie? There should be a spin-off starring the Dragon Man and cyborg banker dude. Cyborg, Banker, and Dragon Man trying to stay in an apartment. The landlord is that Russian guy who do on ABC Monday nights. I would watch the shit out of that. I'd Netflix it, Hulu it, record it, everything. So anyway, after that weird tangent, Channing Tatum has gotten rid of his arch nemesis, but Mila Kunis still has to get rid of hers. So how does the Whispering Man dies?
He falls to his death.
Yep. And his very last words are like, "No, I'm falling to my death. This is a really cliche way to die."
That's not what he said.
Oh, that's right. You're right. What he actually says is, "I'm falling to my death. This is a horrible way to die. I don't like it. I don't like it!" Because, he has Tourette's, I guess. So anyway, he's dead in a cliche way, and Mila Kunis and Channing Tatum are apparently are able to formalize their astronaut suits, because earlier Channing Tatum was ejected out of a spaceship, but by Sean Bean, who he later forgived somehow, I guess. I don't know why Sean Bean is redeemable in this movie, but he is. Anyway, Channing Tatum was able to have access to a astronaut suit and allow it to form over his body, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, he gives that to Jupiter Kunis also, and she gets it, and now they're both astronauts, and or at least they both have astronaut suits, and they're safe now, and I don't know, some more bullshit happens. I don't know what the hell happened to the Albris Sachs family, like the snooty rich people. I guess they got arrested or something. I don't know. Anyway, so they jump cut to Mila Kunis back with her family because they were saved somehow, I guess. And they don't remember it because, they're programmed not to or something. And they're like, "Oh, hey, Mila Kunis, we don't know what happened, but we decided to give you that kaleidoscope, stethoscope, periscope." I still don't remember what that was. Anyway, here it is. Here it friggin' is. You happy? Now go on a date with Channing Tatum. So Mila Kunis. Oh, by the way, that cousin guy gets his comeuppance, I guess, because now he's trying to sell the TV. Anyway, so Mila Kunis meets up with Channing Tatum, and Channing Tatum has been promoted. He has been promoted from Dog Man to Bird Dog Man. So yes, I guess he's basically a griffin now. Oh, this movie's making me literally sick. So anyway, so I guess they have a budding relationship now. So I guess that means that Mila Kunis really is okay with bestiality. And then Mila Kunis uses Channing Tatum's hover shoes. By the way, he has hover boots to fly around, and Channing Tatum goes after her, flying with his new wings, and because he's a Griffin man, I guess, and that's it. That's the movie. Directed by the Wiskowskis. And then they show, and then during the credits, we see the planets way they are lined by the snooty people to be shaped like a big DNA strand. And I'm like, oh, that's pretty, but that's not scientifically accurate. Now you're gonna have Neil deGrasse Tyson on your asses. It's bad enough he had to criticize the SpongeBob movie. Well, I mean, he didn't, but he probably needs to. You probably know what I'm talking about with that. But now he has to criticize this too, goddammit. So anyway, that's the movie, everybody. So tell me, Dark Overlord of the Universe, what were you gonna say about this movie?
Well, I think that it is a very, very awful depiction of how you rule the universe, because those snooty rich people are not the overlords of the universe. I am.
But keep in mind, this is a movie, so they are entitled to artistic license. Artistic license, Dark Overlord.
Ah, I know, but it was a very bad way of depicting it. Depicting that all of the civilizations that inhabit the entire galaxy are all owned by a bunch of aristocratic people, and that their only purpose is to serve them. And apparently, the way everything works is under legality, under rules, and taxes, and all of this political bullshit. Hasn't this been done before?
Yes, it has, Dark Overlord, and I'll tell you where it was. The Star Wars prequels. It's like the Wiskowski siblings were like, hey, remember when George Lucas tried to put in a lot of political commentary into his sci-fi films? And remember how that was a big old fiasco? Let's do that better. And guess what? It didn't work.
No, it didn't work at all. It was not interesting.
Yeah, it was different. I'll give you that. It was different than how it is in Star Wars. It was like it was like increased to the max, like how everything is political. Everything is about taxes and owning things and the legality of ruling worlds and whatnot. And that all of these worlds are owned by people and they have to do legal things to have those worlds and do stuff and whatnot. And while that is different, that is like that idea of politicalness in sci-fi put onto steroids, more steroids than George Lucas had. The thing is, this movie also had a lot of classic type stuff that just frankly was more interesting. So I think the thing to take away from this is, sure, there are different ways you could go at a your basic sci-fi war opera story. There are ways of doing that differently and exciting ways, but and there are ways of bringing stuff new to old old plots of movies. Like in this case, it's it's a space war film. But the problem is that the new stuff they brought in just wasn't interesting. What wound up being more interesting was the more classic stuff, like the alien-looking people that I guess weren't aliens, just the dragon guys. Those were awesome, and that cyborg guy who looked like Conan O'Brien, he was awesome. But Channing Tatum and Mila Kunis, not awesome. But the whispering guy, I am the villain, he was great. But yes, more of that, less of Mila Kunis and Channing Tatum, and more of the Dragon Man, the robot banker dude, and the Whispering Man, who I know is dead, but come on, you can do something. Throw him in the vat of blue goo and let him reincarnate or some bullshit. Anyway, so yeah, that's what I think. Anything to add, Dark Overlord?
No, I think you pretty much covered it. Can I please go now? I need to go fix this horrible misconception of how the leaders of the universe work. This movie was a horrible depiction on how the leaders of the universe actually are. I must restore it by killing a bunch of planets.
Okay, bye, Dark Overlord.
Goodbye.
Oh God, what the hell happened? Well, Trevor, you were possessed by a giant alien scorpion monster. Oh, did he get a bunch of girlfriends? Nope. Oh, man. Oh, well. Did he review the rest of the movie? Yes, he did. I'm sorry, Trevor. I'm sorry you weren't able to. That's okay. I kinda forgot all of it anyway. Okay, so let's rate the movie. Trevor, do you think the folks at home should should either watch this movie or be forced to live in a house with a bunch of beehives and a rat-faced man?
I think that they should all stay in the house with the beehives and the rock-faced man. Because this movie wasn't that interesting. I mean, I don't even remember it. What was it again? Was it the movie with the short people and the tall people and the pale people and the giant worms?
No, that was Hobbit Battle of Five Armies.
Oh, you see? I don't even remember.
Yeah, okay, if you want, I guess I'll say this. The movie has interesting stuff in it, but but the way they present it with all of this political stuff, just isn't interesting, and your protagonists aren't interesting. So, if you're willing to look through all of that and appreciate a great sci-fi extravaganza that is somewhere in this movie, you just have to do a little bit of looking. Sure, why not? Go for it. But other than that, if you're not willing to look through, the bland acting and hit and miss from the leads, then no. Instead, live in a house full of beehives and a rat-faced man. But if you want to do, and yeah, it's not worth it. I mean, that Cyborg O'Brien guy and the Dragon dude, they're not in it for that long. So if you're going just for them, you're going to be sadly disappointed. Unless you're going just for that Whispering dude, then sure, why not? Go for it. Okay, so that's it, everybody. That's the movie. That's the review of the movie. I'll see you guys next time when I review James Bond. Oh, wait a minute. That's not James Bond. That's a prepubescent James Bond. Oh, wait a minute. He's not prepubescent. He's like old enough to have sex. But whatever. See you guys next time. So tell me, Trevor, how did it feel being possessed by a giant scorpion?
Well, I must say, it really hurts in the bum.
Yeah, I heard he does that.
Yeah, it felt like he was protruding a giant spike, a giant scorpion tail out of my bum. It was really weird.
Yeah, I hope it wasn't too much of a traumatic experience for you.
Nah, I'm used to ass play.
That was more information than I needed to hear, Trevor.
I know, that's what everyone says when I talk about the ass play.
Telescope!